Hi Shine community. Today we're making one of my favorites. This is BeetKvass. It's a traditional Eastern European medicinal tonic. And what makes it medicinal is it has all of the benefits of beets. So really good for the heart, for blood pressure, high in antioxidants, really high in minerals. And then you add on top of that all of the probiotics that come with culturing a beverage. So this beverage is made and then sits for anywhere from 7 to 14 days, depending on your kitchen and the temperature of your kitchen. Something I've learned with any sort of culturing, fermentation, or brine in a beverage is you have to stay somewhat connected to it to taste it, see if it's done, start to recognize a little bit of bubble is a good thing, but that means it's done. And then the smell of it and staying connected to it to burp it 1 or 2 times a day for the first 3 days. So burping it is just loosening the top, letting the air out, and then putting the top back on. And that just needs to happen a couple of times a day for the first 3 days. But these beverages are healing. They're delicious. Even my kids will have this. You know, you only need about 2 ounces or so each day. You can work up to 4, but you don't need a whole glass of it. And even my kids will have a shot in the morning and they have their little pink mustaches on their way to school, and it just makes me happy to know that they had their shot of BeetKvass. And it tastes a little bit like pickle juice, which is, I think, what is the appeal to so many. But it has like a little bit of more of an earthier beet flavor to it, but salty and delicious. And only 3 ingredients: beets, salt, water, and thyme. Thyme meaning 7 to 14 days. So we're going to cut our beets. It takes anywhere from 2 to 4 beets depending on the size. And I usually cut the beets into about 8 pieces, 8 to 12. And then we're going to add our salt, 1 tablespoon. And for any sort of culture or ferment, I really like to use a high quality salt, like a sea salt or a Celtic salt. This brand is Real Salt, which is actually from the US, from Utah. It's a full mineral salt from a deep deposit in the earth. And all of these salts really help not only with flavor, but also with nutritional value. So salt is important. Organic vegetables are important. And then I'm using spring water to fill it to the top. You just want to leave like an inch or so at the top. And then if you have your last batch of BeetKvass, which I happen to have, and I always keep a little bit of the old batch in order to add a little bit into the new batch, because it helps the probiotics proliferate a little quicker, a little deeper, and the flavor is a little deeper as well. So it's kind of like a little inoculation from the old one. So if you have, after you've been doing this for a while and you have your old batch, I recommend adding it. And then we're going to cover it entirely. Just mix it up a little bit to incorporate the salt. And then we're just going to leave it on our countertop from anywhere from 7 to 14 days. And like I said in the past, for the first 2 to 3 days, you just want to burp it by taking the top off and then closing it just to let some of the air bubbles out. And that's it. Enjoy.